If you're new here, my name is Lisa and I make gardening and nature videos on YouTube. I live on Vancouver Island and our weather has been very erratic this spring. It's been very warm summer temperatures for a while now, and today we are back to cold weather. I am freezing making this video, but I make these videos just as much for everyone out there in the YouTube world as well as for myself, because they're kind of like a gardening journal. And I didn't want to miss out on a few things I haven't shown you guys yet on this channel. And the plants are blooming, the flowers are blooming, and soon they'll be done. So I wanted to have it for my own sake just as much as for you guys, to show you some of the stuff I haven't shown you in my little renovation projects and all that. So let's get started. This is a collaboration with Grandma Sandy, Suffolk Susie, Pat's Garden Life, and Barb Dally Rural Life, among other creators. So first of all, I put my garden lights together. They are functional. These are the ones that Garden Reach sent me a long time ago. Still need to bear the cords, but my backyard is so much brighter at night, so that is super lovely. Quick little look in the backyard. Only a few changes since you last saw the backyard. I decided to put these little fish, I don't know what you call them, mobiles, wind chimes, whatever you want to call them. My mom bought them for me. And I just decided to put them on my little pea poles. The peas are doing pretty well. We've had a few days of rain, colder temperatures, and overall things are flourishing. The fig tree is finally leafing out. You can see a little baby fig there if the camera's gonna focus. So that is super exciting. We're going to kind of fast forward and jump into what I think is the more interesting part of the tour, because some of this stuff you may have seen already, but I'm going to show you a few things that you have not seen. So we are headed first to check out, hello Landon. First, we're going to check out some of my garden art, which I've been really wanting to share with you guys. And every time it's garden tour Saturday, I forget what day of the week it is, and I never get it into a video. So we're going to check my garden art out first before I forget. Hello, James. Do you like thigh-high boots? No, I don't. So, coming this way, hello, Liza. Welcome. This is something I've been working on. If you've been around for a while, I'm making a cat-friendly rock garden. There's a couple neighborhood cats that have been frequenting my home and garden. I don't have a pet cat, but I am trying to attract them back to my garden. This is the cat-friendly garden I'm creating, and this is one of the cats I made. And there is more than one cat. So there's a cat here. And if we come around this side of the garden, there is a mirrored cat on this side. And this all goes with the theme of my garden, which I'm going to show you, which is the theme of my YouTube channel. If you're new, you might not be aware of this. The camera is getting full of raindrops. It is starting to rain. But check this out. This is my theme of my YouTube channel, and it goes with the cats. So I created in rock art this little slogan that basically says, grow love. And then over here, I have a heart. And I didn't even try to do this when I was making this cat-friendly garden. I did the heart intentionally, and this over here was supposed to be a pathway that I created from the other side. And unintentionally, I created a second heart, which is really interesting. So it was almost like they were mirroring each other. And that is what I did with the cats. So I have two cats here, and they're mirroring each other in the rock garden. So that's kind of the theme I have going on. And what's even more interesting is when I created this entire garden, before I knew about the cats or anything like that, I had a mirroring theme in mind with the plants. So if you can see in this garden, the whole theme of the entire garden is a mirrored image. So this tree over here is original to the property, and I basically put a mirrored tree over here. I'll show you the mirror effect in a minute. Same variety of tree. I'll just go down. I don't know if you can see it in the distance. These two trees are mirroring each other. And throughout the entire garden, I did that with as many plants as I could, just because I thought it was a super neat effect. And it's weird the hearts ended up like that unintentionally. I just think that is so wild. Yes, this is my rock garden. And it is only going to get more wild as the time progresses. They're going to look so good when the plants are bigger. Yes, the symmetry. I learned about symmetry in my last garden, and this garden, I took symmetry to a whole new level. Apply cement slurry to the pathway. It will bind the gravels together and give you so much stable carriageway. I'm not putting cement on this pathway. It's pretty much done the way it's done. My parents put a ton of work into this garden. So much work, but so worth it. I hope you guys can still see the camera. I'm just going to brush off the raindrops. Just a moment. I'm not sure if that's the front or the back camera, but I am just getting covered in rain. So if it's getting blurry, that is why. The rain is just coming down. And before I put the live stream on, I actually was out here planting more flowers and flower seeds. So this is a heart-shaped bed. There's a whole story behind that. I wanted a heart-shaped bed when I was digging and thought it would be too difficult when I was creating the bed over here, so I gave up on the idea. And then my dad said, "Oh, you need another flower bed. Let me make you one." And unintentionally, without telling him, he made me a heart-shaped flower bed. Are there cats sometimes? Yes, if you've been around my channel for a while, there have been 2 cats coming. The first one was such a wild experience. His name is Grayson, and he followed me into my house after work one day, 11 p.m., never saw the cat before, had a sleepover with me, acted like he owned the house, and then I thought he was a lost cat. He is not a lost cat. He has chosen ones in the neighborhood. I am a chosen one that he has adopted, and he picks families from the neighborhood to have sleepovers with. And he's very well looked after, and I made lots of video clips of him. And then there is a second cat that comes. Yes, it is raining, and the second cat isn't quite as friendly, but I welcome all the cats here. So yes, it is raining, and I'm assuming that the camera's getting blurry. I'm going to try to wipe it again. Sorry, just using my sleeve. Yeah, so that's the story of the cats. Now let me show you this flower bed. So the purple you see is grape hyacinths. And then this is going to be absolutely wild. There are wildflowers, there are alyssum, there are these little tiny, these are baby lupin plants that I grew from seed in my other garden that I haven't showed you. And I transplanted them out here, so it'll be all purple and pink. And we have lots of lavenders out here, so there will be purple there. And I just transplanted these little guys. These are borage flowers, and they get blue, beautiful blue, spiky, tall flowers, and they are edible. And that is why I planted them. If you've been around this channel for a while, you know I love taste testing edible flowers. I have not tried the borage flower yet, so I put about 20 seedlings in this flower bed, so there will be a taste test coming soon. Yes, I am growing rocks among other things. Hey Howie, it is raining. I don't know if you can tell, but I was just talking about what I put in this flower bed. You probably missed my little kitten art. Right over here, there are cats now. And I want to show you my apple tree. I have not shown my apple tree yet on this channel recently. It's almost half done blooming. This is a 5 variety apple tree. We can check out some of the blossoms. Absolutely gorgeous and so fragrant. And you know, I have taste tested apple flowers. I did that on my last property, but I can't remember what they taste like. So we're going to do another taste test. I didn't plan this one. And I don't even have water with me. So if it tastes bad, I'm going to have that flavor until the live stream is finished. So we are going to just do a impromptu flower taste testing here. We're going to take a pretty wide open apple flower and give it a taste test. I have to say it doesn't have a lot of flavor. The pear tree flower I tasted a little while ago for the first time was bitter. This one doesn't have a lot of taste. Peach flowers taste delicious and plum flowers taste delicious. But I'm gonna say this was very bland. Yeah, not a lot of flavor on that apple flower. So I'm going to actually go and show you a little bit of, I released a video earlier today about my clover and wildflower garden, but I didn't actually tell you much about the tree that I planted. I did plant the tree I talked about. So we're going to take a look at the tree, and there's one other plant that I put back there, and we're going to see how it's all coming together. This is a little stone pathway I created recently. And this I have not decided, but there's very likely going to be, this is basically where the arbutus tree was. And I'm going to make a, let's call it an art piece that is in honor of the theme of this property, which is love. So I have it all in mind, and it's going to be created with mostly stones. And I just need to get to it. I have a lack of time in my life, but I have an art project planned. So this is what it looks like. You might have seen that in the video I put out earlier. There's some little benches. That is a monument of the arbutus tree that needed to come down. I kept lots of the arbutus pieces. And in this corner here, this was not planned, but this is actually my sage plant that was in the vegetable garden. Decided to transplant it here. It came into 2 chunks with the roots, and it should do pretty well. This is a very hot and dry location. It's going to be more like extra scaping here in a wildflower and clover kind of environment. So I'm super excited about that. And right over here, this is the tree you've been waiting for. It is tiny. And this is a fig tree. I think it is a dwarf. I'm not 100% certain. It actually came from my last property. I had brought it with me and put it into the rock garden and decided this is really a better place for it. It has so much room to grow, even though I think it doesn't get very big, but I'm not 100% certain. So it's going to have this whole area to fill up or not. It might be small, it might be big, I don't know. But it's basically a fig and sage that I have back here, clover, and a whole ton of flowers. And over here, this area has something special I have created. Now, assuming that they grow, it's going to be a wall of sunflowers. I'm so excited to have a whole wall. I put a whole bunch of different varieties of sunflower seeds right here yesterday. So, have I ever tried sugarcane? They are quite resilient. I have not tried sugarcane. I don't know if it grows on Vancouver Island. Maybe Howie can comment on that because I'm not sure. This is I want to say about a zone 9, something like that. So I am very, very excited about the sunflowers. There are red ones, all different shades of yellow. I cannot wait to see what it's going to look like. However, that being said, I had 2 starlings that were stalking me yesterday. I talked about that on the live stream. I didn't catch them on video during their prime stalking behavior. They were so close to me at one point that I could have almost reached out and touched them. I don't know why they were getting so friendly with me. But anyways, I know they were eating as I was creating that wildflower clover area. They were eating grubs and worms and seeds. They were having a feast. So that being said, I don't know how many seeds are left over there. Did they eat them all? Did they bring their friends overnight and have a party? I really don't know. So I am counting on that they didn't eat everything and that there will be some that can sprout, but you never know. You never know with seeds what's going to work and what's not going to work. So that is the story of my clover wildflower garden with a fig tree, some sage plants. And that was the main part of the tour I wanted to show you today. Got the lights out. I think I've showed you my fish already. I still have my merman in the house. This was sort of going to be the beginning of kind of a larger scale fairy garden in my seaside collection. I've got these seaside stepping stones, more of a seaside art kind of, I don't know what you call it, garden, I guess, expression of art. So I do need to put a male mermaid, but I haven't found one yet. So I think the merman might go out solo with his shells and his accessories, and we'll see how it all comes together. And I am thoroughly rained on now, so this live stream is pretty short, but I am going to call it a day. I have so many chores to do. Thank you for stopping in. Jay, Howie, I think there was someone named Lenny or Larry earlier. I cannot remember, but I made biochar. Awesome. That is so good. Susie, welcome. You're coming in right at the end of my tour. I'm just about to end it, actually. Maybe you will watch the replay. I have to catch up on Garden Tour Saturday. Once again, I forgot what day it was. I went to work thinking it was Thursday today, and somehow it was Saturday. I don't know how that happened. Once again, it happened last week on Garden Tour Saturday, but I lose track of the time sometimes, and that's what happens. So there is another video coming. I just started editing my forest bathing video. Those ones take me a long time to edit, anywhere from, let me say, 2 hours to 16 hours, depending on how much effort I put into them. So it's going to be a while, but there is another video in the works. Thank you for joining in. You look like knock people out. I try not to knock people out. I have never done that before, but thank you for stopping in, and we will see you probably later in the week with a new video. Bye-bye.